Hi everyone, Jennifer here, back with another of my comparison videos. And this one is a comparison of Watership Down, the book versus the movie. Okay, so there are a few differences between the book and the movie, and I have read the book and I have seen the movie. And I've done reviews on both of them. Okay, first off, in the book, we know that the hutch rabbits and some of the Effinin rabbits, or the rabbits from the other warren that was controlled by General Woundwort, they join Watership Down near the end of the book. And some of this will be spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie or read the book or both, please just stop watching now. Also, we know in the book there is a litter of baby rabbits born before General Woundwort attacks Watership Down. So we know there's at least one female there. Well, actually, we know there's multiple. There's at least one female there beforehand for there to be a litter of rabbits, because number one, rabbits breed very quickly. Number two, we know it was a short period of time between when they get back to Watership Down, which was when they and us learn about the litter, and when they're attacked. Third, Strawberry joins Hazel and the others before they find Watership Down in the book. Strawberry's mentioned, and then he's mentioned throughout the book afterwards. He's actually very integral into the design of Watership Down because of how his warren was designed. And finally, there are several stories about, I don't know, I'm going to try to say the name because I know I will not be able to pronounce it, but the Prince of Rabbits, or Rabbit Prince, in the book. I forget the exact number, but there are quite a few of them that the rabbits tell periodically to each other in the book. Now, in the movie, we don't know if the hutch rabbits and some of the rabbits that were under General Woundwort, like the soldiers, not the ones they bring back, but the soldiers, join the warren. We do see Hazel and the others go to the farm and attempt to free well, not attempt, they actually do free the hutch rabbits, but we don't, in the movie, but we don't know if they actually escape with the Watership Down rabbits and return to the warren like they do in the book. In the movie, we don't see any baby rabbits in the warren until like the very end of the movie. So, granted, which takes place several years after the events of Watership Down. So we know that at that point there are some does or female rabbits in Watership in the thing. In fact, them going to General Woundwart's warren was basically done because they needed females and they didn't have any females, and there was overpopulation in that warren, and they figured, oh well, they can convince some of the females, and they can convince a number of females and maybe young females and maybe a few young bucks to come with them, to come back to their warren so they could have litters, build up their numbers. That was the main point of it. And we do see that at the end of the movie. So that is there. We do see it at the end of the movie. But we don't see the little babies there until the end of the movie. We really don't even see the little babies. We see the younger rabbits. We're in the book, they actually mention that they are baby rabbits. Okay, in the movie, Strawberry's not mentioned. Whether or not they encounter him is another story, because they do actually go to that warren. They are actually at that warren. They encounter those rabbits. They have a conversation with those rabbits. But other than Cowslip, none of the rabbits are given names. So in the movie, in the book, they're given names. We have names for a couple of them, and Strawberry is one of them. And Strawberry does leave that warren and join Hazel and the others on their search for Watership Down. Does become a member of Watership Down, but he's not mentioned in the movie at all. I don't want to say he was a relatively minor character, because I don't feel that any of the Watership Down rabbits are, like the rabbits that are literally from Watership Down, are minor characters. They all played some kind of a role in the telling of the story. Hazel was the leader. Silver, Holly, and Bigwig were the warriors. Pipkin did play a part. He wasn't very big, but he was very helpful in things. In certain things, he did help Hazel with when he went to see the hutch rabbits the first time. Blackberry has the idea to float Hazel and Fiver on a piece of wood to help them get across the river before they find Watership Down, before they even meet Strawberry and the other rabbits from his warren. Blackberry also comes up with a lot of the ideas they use. Dandelion tells the stories. He's a storyteller. Fiver had visions. Fiver was the one who originally had the vision that their warren was going to be destroyed. I don't want to say he had a vision, but he knew something wasn't right at Strawberry's old warren and warned them of that. He had visions during the battle. So he was, I don't want to say he was a visionary, because it would be taken the wrong way, but he had visions. He was like, the website, Wikipedia, when I looked up information for the movie talk video, called him a seer. So he was a seer. So they all have roles that they played within the story. They were all characters in the story that had a role. They were important characters. And in the book, excuse me, Strawberry was one of them. He was kind of like, he wasn't a warrior like Bigwig and Silver and Holly were, but he was a very good digger. He helped design the burrows and everything, because his burrow, the burrow he grew up in, was actually very different from a regular rabbit burrow, at least in the book. And the other rabbits, while they didn't like what was going on there, they liked the design of the burrow, and he helped them kind of design their burrow. So why they cut him from the movie, I don't know, but he's not mentioned. He might be there, but he's not mentioned by name. Okay, and finally, the only other difference between the book and the movie is that there's only one story about the Prince of Rabbits in the movie, and that is at the very beginning of the movie. But in my opinion, I believe I mentioned this in movie talk on Watership Down. It was the more important of the stories that they tell, because it explains how the rabbit came to be, how the rabbit, well, basically how all the animals we know of today came to be, how they got all their special things that made them different, and in particular how the rabbit came to be. So it was the more important story to put in there, and they did put it at the very beginning because it explained everything, and it basically set up the movie to follow. So those are like the 4 key differences between the book and the movie. Basically, the hutch rabbits and the few soldiers that General Woundwort brings with him. We don't know if they join. We know they join in Watership Down at the end of the book. We don't know if they do in the movie. We do not see, we see a litter of baby rabbits before the battle for Watership Down, and then like the chapter right before the epilogue, we have, I think, 2 more, at least 1 more, but I think it's 2 more litters have been born to Watership Down, within Watership Down. We don't see any young rabbits at Watership Down until at the end of the movie. Strawberry's in the book. He's not really mentioned in the movie. And there are lots of little, I call them rabbit stories, within the book, but there's only 1 in the movie, and it's not even told by the rabbits. The narrator basically tells it, and then we don't hear from the narrator anymore until the end of the movie. So it's, now, that being said, did that mean that the movie wasn't good? No, I'm not saying the movie wasn't good. The movie, if you watch my video on, my movie talk video on Watership Down, you know I absolutely loved the movie. It was such a cute little movie. And it does follow the book very well. They had to change a few things, and it was mostly because of time constraint. The movie is, I want to say, about 2 hours, roughly, long, and the book is, counting the epilogue, 51 chapters. You can't fit 51 chapters into a 2-hour movie without cutting some things. So of course they had to. They had to cut some things, and they had to make some changes. I'm okay with it, because I realize that that's what happened. You go back and you read any book that's based on a movie or that has a movie based on it, and you will notice differences. I am currently reading Phantom Menace, and as I read Phantom Menace, I am noticing differences from in the book that are different from the movie. Some things that were not in the movie that are in the book. It's just time constraint. Same thing, like I read a book that follows the original Star Wars trilogy, and there are some things in the book that are not in the movie. And again, it's just time constraint. And I think the book came out after the movie anyways. It's just really time constraint. You can't fit everything. And, they left in what wasn't in the movie, they left in what was important. And that's fine. I realize that. They cut what wasn't important. I personally would not have cut Strawberry. I feel he was an important character, but they don't really go into detail on how they build the Warren because in the movie, because in the book, they're describing how they're building the Warren, and they don't do that in the movie. Okay, what I liked about the 2 of them. Okay, basically the book, I liked everything. I loved the characters. My 2 favorites were Fiver and Hazel, but I also liked Strawberry as well. I loved the storyline. I thought it was a very unique story because I have not seen any book, other than like say an Easter book, prior to this one, were the main characters, or basically the majority of the characters were rabbits. So I really liked that. I did. It was something very different. I've seen movies where I've read books where the main characters were horses. I've read books where the main characters were dogs. I've read books where the main characters were cats, dragons, elves, dwarves, humans, Pokemon, werewolves, vampires, fairy tale creatures, for lack of a better word, monsters for Monster High. But rabbits, not really. I've read books on rabbits, but they were more Easter related. Well, okay, the Velveteen Rabbit, but that was a toy rabbit, so I don't really know if that counts. Most of the books I've read that were where the main character was a rabbit were either the Velveteen Rabbit, which, like I said, I don't know if that really counts because the Velveteen Rabbit was a toy rabbit, or it was an Easter book. And this is not an Easter story, despite the fact that there are the main characters are, and actually the majority of the characters are all rabbits. This is just a regular everyday story. So for me, that was really different, and I liked that. I loved the detail the author, Richard Adams, put into the story. I thought it was really good. He like literally, as I was reading the book, I mentioned this in Movie Talk. I had a very clear visual picture in my head of what each character looked like. So I absolutely loved that. I loved, even though I felt that the book could have gone on just fine without them, I love the little stories that the rabbits tell to each other that are in there. So it's absolutely cute and adorable. I loved the book. On the same side, that things I loved about the movie, again, everything. The movie was just amazing. It was phenomenal. It was so cute. It follows the book very well. Again, do they cut stuff out? Yes, but they have to. And it was just so cute. And I know I mentioned this in Movie Talk, but this is a movie that's like, I've seen it twice already. I've watched it twice already because I have the DVD. And I've watched it twice already. And this is a movie that I would definitely be like, I feel like watching a movie. Oh, I'm going to watch Watership Down, even though I watched it like literally 2 days ago. Because I love it that much. It's just so cute. I'm probably going to get tired of it after a while if I watch it that much. But my point being, it's that kind of movie. It's like the movie's like, oh, yeah, okay, I want to watch Watership Down. Oh, it's already in the DVD player? Perfect. I just got to switch over to my DVD player, and I just got to hit play. And I got to turn my DVD player on and hit play, and I'm good to go. Because I just love it that much. It's probably like when I go on trips and I take my portable DVD player, that's more than likely going to be one of the DVDs I take with me. Because I just love it. It's just so adorable. The animation is so cute. Because obviously it's an animated movie. It follows the book very, very well. I love the characters. Fiber and Hazel are my two favorite characters in the movie. If he had been in there, Strawberry would have been too. Or at least mentioned by name in there. It's just, it's like, how do I explain this without giving away too much in terms of making it a spoiler? It's just really good. I love the way they opened it. I liked the ending. Like the way they did the Black Rabbit was just so amazing. I loved that. There's just so much about the book or movie that I absolutely loved. And it's like I've got another movie that's based on a book, also by Richard Adams, that I am currently reading. It's Plague Dogs, and I hope Plague Dogs does the exact same thing. It's so far I've only read one chapter in Plague Dogs, and I like it so far. I feel there's a little too much detail in it, like stuff like I don't need to know this, but we will talk about that when I do the book review, or when I do my book talk video on Plague Dogs. I have yet to see the movie, but I'm hoping it follows in step with this. That the book is great, and the movie is like Watership Down was. It hits all the marks and everything, and it's just that's what I'm hoping for. But we will see. I promise, and we will see. And I promise, as soon as I see the movie, I will do a movie talk review on Plague Dogs, and as soon as I finish the book, I will do a book talk review on Plague Dogs, and then I will do a comparison on the two, like I did here. They may not be back to back to back to back to back like these three are. This just happened to be a coincidence. I finished reading the book, I watched the movie, and it's like, you know what? Well, it's fresh in my head. I'm doing the comparison, and I just like, you know what? Just post them on the same day. I will it'll probably be very rare that I do that. I mean, if that happens with Plague Dogs, I'd be very shocked because I'm sure I'm going to watch the movie before I finish the book. But I'm digressing. But anyways, like, not, if you can't tell, I love both the book and I love the movie. Rarely happens. Normally, I like either the book or the movie. I very rarely like both. Okay, please leave your comments and questions in the comment section. I do love to read those. Also, feel free to follow me on Wattpad, Tumblr, Instagram, and Twitter. I do have my name for those 4 sites right there on the screen, as well as the pictures I use for the icons. Please note that all pictures seen within this video do belong to their respective artists. I own absolutely nothing. And the links for any sites mentioned in this video will be in the description section. Okay. Feel free to check out my 2 related videos for Watership Down. Okay, and a quick reminder on my comment rules. First off, no mean comments. Second, no bad or curse words in comments. Third, I'm not opposed to debates, but please keep it civil. And finally, please be respectful to me and each other. Okay, and feel free to check out my other videos. Okay, YouTube subscribers. Any of my videos that cannot be found on YouTube are on my Facebook page. Facebook friends. Basically the same deal. Any of my videos that cannot be found on Facebook are on my YouTube channel. And to anyone who's interested, you can feel free to check out my Facebook group, Fanfic Corner. Okay, please like and share if you're watching on Facebook, or like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're watching on YouTube, and as always, thank you for watching and have a very nice day.